Let's go to South Africa, Keith. We talk about Europe in terms of energy crisis, but we've got one in South Africa. And of course, in a country that's not very safe in its urban areas, I mean, if you're not in the position to keep your lights on, if you can't lock the door or use the security system, this is a worrying development. The president there has called a state of emergency, blackouts, shortages, the whole box and dice.
Load shedding every day, Peter, and unfortunately we're seeing more load shedding in Australia, but generally it's with heavy industry, so most of the people out there don't see it. But imagine being stuck in a lift if you're in a hospital that needs emergency surgery. To be honest, if you're just trying to do anything, just trying to stay employed, have a job, keep your factory running, it'd be virtually impossible. And yet in Australia, we're heading down the same path. If you don't have reliable and affordable energy, whether it's electricity or gas or others, well, your economy will be damaged, your reputation will be damaged. And as I said earlier, I mean, that story in the Fin Review that the Resources Minister for Labor will potentially have the ability to stop gas exports for a quarter without written permission, that is just damaging for Australia's reputation.
And Gary, the New South Wales Minerals Council, you know, we're in the sort of weeks out now from election there on the 25th of March. They're saying to both the opposition leader and the Premier, forget us at your peril.
And rightly so, because look, Peter, you know, it's a bit like borrowing from that South African example. The people who are going to be hurt the most by power blackouts are going to be the poorest people. The people who cannot afford to actually face the cost of living because they're living from not even paycheck, pension check to pension check. Some of them don't even have a roof over their heads. I mean, there's 40,000 couch surfing in southeast Queensland again tonight. So, you know, New South Wales is facing a genuine peril if they go down this woke green left Labor agenda, which seems to be what's going to happen, all about keeping the inner city elites happy, but not about dealing with the real issues in the western suburbs and indeed regional and rural New South Wales and Australia. And Peter, it's the people in the regions that are going to suffer even greater because they're the first ones that are going to lose power. You mark my words.
And just to underscore your point, $17 billion, it's a record, was pumped into the New South Wales economy from mining last year. Now, if you reckon you can run an economy and replace that $17 billion on baristas and nail bars in Sydney CBD, you are kidding
Got to
yourself.
Chris Bowen, you can.
I'll leave it there, gentlemen. I see. Wow. Bowen's got the record on votes too. Look at that front bench. Tony Burke and Chris Bowen, both failed immigration ministers. Bowen, the worst in Australia's history, and now he wants to do that to our energy sector. Got to leave it there, gentlemen. We could go on all night.